Hello everyone, my name is Haider Ali Punjabi, and in the last video I showed you how we can use a PZEM004 with an ESP32 to do some basic power monitoring. I'll be continuing on that in this video, and I'll show you how we can connect multiple PZEMs to the single ESP32. This is possible because PZEM use something called a Modbus to communicate with ESP32. Using Modbus, you can have multiple devices on the same RX and TX pins. That means you don't need to worry about how many pins your ESP32 has. This is possible because a Modbus device has a unique address. So if you change the address of your Modbus device, in our case the PZDM, you will be able to communicate to multiple devices using the same ESP32 microcontroller. So that's the first thing I'll show you in this video, how to change the address of the PZDM004. To do it, there are multiple ways. One of the most popular ways is to use a Windows utility where you connect the PZDM to your Windows computer and then change the address. The other popular way is there's some ESPHome code that you can write that will change the address of your PZDM device. I will share my screen and show it to you. So here's the ESPHome code. So you need to use this code just once, and once the address has been changed, you will remove this code. What this code does is it checks if the address that you specified here is correct, and then it flashes it to the PZDM. You'll see here that the address ranges from 1 to F7. So I think it's somewhere around FF is 255, so it's somewhere around 250 devices, I suppose, that you can connect to a single ESP32, but that's theoretical. Practically, I think there might be some signal issues if you connect too many devices together, but I think it should be fine if we connect 4 or 5 devices, PZDMs together. In this demo, I'll just show you how to connect two, but in the next video, what I'm planning is I need to create a power monitoring box for my home. At least two I'll be creating, and each box will have 3 to 4 PZDMs on a single ESP32. So that will be the next video. But in this video, I'll show you a third way of doing it, which is not very popular right now because it is something that I created myself a few months ago for my use. The issue being this is the ESPHome way is slightly complicated. You need to flash one ESPHome code and then the other. The Windows utility one is pretty simple to use, but the issue being I don't have a Windows computer that I like. I have a computer, but I don't like to boot it very often. So I usually work from my Mac laptop, and I wanted a utility that I can use from Mac. So what I did is I created a web-based utility a couple of months ago, which we will be using today to change the address of the PZDM. Uh, so the first thing you need to do is connect the PZDM to your computer. So to do that, you will need a UART to USB, UART to USB adapter. So this is the one I have. It is an FT232. Maybe you can't see it. I'll switch to my camera and yeah. So this is a FT232 UART to USB adapter from Waveshare. It's a pretty decent quality one, and I use it for multiple projects. So we'll be using this to connect the PZDM to the PC or to the Mac laptop. It has a USB-C terminal at one end, and on the other it has some pins that okay, it has some pins that connect to the PZDM or whatever device you want to connect to. We'll be using this to connect the PZDM to the PC, and then we'll continue and I'll show you how the utility works. Okay, so as you will see, I have got two PZDMs here. I'll connect one of them to the PC, and to do that, I'll take 4 wires from this adapter. So I'll not use the last 2 wires, those are for reset and some CTS. I'm not sure what that does. But here are our 4 wires. So red and black are the power and ground. So the red wire will go to the VCC, and the black one will go to the ground, and then the yellow and orange. So orange is the TXD, so it will go to the RX of PZDM, and yellow is the TX, so it will go yellow is the RX actually, and it will go to the TX of PZDM. So here's how I have connected it. 1 second. Okay. So it's now connected, and I'll plug it in my PC. One other thing that you need is you need to power the PZDM using AC as well. So I have powered on my PZDM and now I'll show you how to change its address. So on my screen, I'll go to the PZDM utility, and what you can do is, if when your device is connected to the computer, just click connect and select the UART adapter that you have, and now it should be ready. You can do read once to ensure that it's connected. The device address here is the one it will use to communicate. So in case your address is something different, just go to change address and set the address you want to use for reading it. And once you've read the data, it will show you all the data that the PZDM communicates. To change the address, what you can do is, in the set address field, set the new address that you want. So for example, I'll change it from 1 to 2 and then click set. It will show you change device address from 1 to 2 and then press OK. And now the new address is 2. So you'll see that the reading address here is also changed to 2. And if I click to read once again, it will get the new values. So this is how you change the address of any PZDM device. This is pretty simple. One good thing that I've built in this utility is, in case you have forgotten the address of your PZDM. So for example, I'll set it to something random like 45, or 45 will take some time to read. I'll set it to 9, let's say. And now the address is 9. I'll refresh the page and connect. Now let's assume you don't know the address of your PZDM. If I click read once here and it tries to read using address 1, it won't be able to. And you don't know the address of your PZDM. So what you can do is click on scan address and it will try every address and give you the one that's working. So for 9, it will take just a moment. And let's see. Okay, so the scan is complete. It found the device using address 9. So in case you forget your address of your PZDM, it can be very troublesome, but you can use this utility to quickly find it. Okay, so this was about how you can change the address of the PZDM and how you can find the address if you have forgotten it. I'll set it back to 1 because that's what I have been using it for. And then I'll show you how to write the ESPHome code for it. So the one PZEM I have is set to address 1 and the other that I have is set to address 3. So we'll go to my ESPHome and this is the code that I have. So you will see you don't need to change anything up till here. This is just the same code as last time, and the first sensor is also the same. But I've added a new sensor this time. It's the same code as this one, but I've just added one new field called address and I've set the address to 3. I don't need to add an address field here because the default address is 1. So like I said, the other PZDM that I have uses address 3. So this is all that I needed to add a second PZDM to my ESPHome code. I hope I am able to explain it properly. But I have already flashed it to my ESP32, so I'll just connect it and show you how it works. One other thing that you need to be aware about is how we wire all these PZDMs together. One beginner mistake that I've also made is I used to connect it using something called a star configuration, where all the wires from different PZDMs are connected together at one place, which is very near to ESP32. You don't need to do that. What you need to do is use something known as a daisy chain configuration. I'll attach a picture in editing and show how it looks like. So what happens in daisy chain is your wires from one PZDM need to go to the other PZDM, and from the other PZDM it will go to the different PZDM and so on and so forth until the last PZDM, and from the last PZDM just one wire will go to the ESP32. I have tried to make one. I'll set it back to camera first. So I've tried to make a wire that should be very close to daisy chain. It's not perfect. So what I've done is I've spliced or combined two wires to a single wire here. And what I'll do is this wire will go to one PZDM, and then this will go to the other PZDM, and the third one will go to the ESP32. In case I had to wire up 3 or 4 PZDMs, I'll combine another wire here and not here. If we combine it at this joint, it will again become a star configuration. But to create a daisy chain configuration, you need to combine it somewhere near here, and this terminal will go to the PZDM, and the other wire that comes out of it will go to the ESP32. I know this might be a bit confusing here, but hopefully in the third video where I will actually be combining 3 or 4 PZDMs together, I'll be able to make it more clear. But another thing that you should do is the wire that I've combined here that will go to one of the PZDMs, the distance should be even shorter so that the signal issues don't occur. But I think this should be fine for now. But in case you're facing issues, ensure that the wiring that you have done is using the daisy chain configuration. So now I'll wire it up with the ESP32. I'll disconnect the UART adapter, and then okay, so this one is the okay. So here's the spliced one. I'll combine it here, and then the next one will go to, and then this one will go to the ESP32. So here's my ESP32 breadboard. I've already wired it up. So okay, so orange is power. This goes to power, and then black is for and then let's see, the red one is RX. So RX pin is 2, so yellow is RX and it will go to brown, that's TX, and then green is my TX, I think, and it will go here. So hopefully I wired it up correctly. I'll connect it to power so that the ESP32 is powered up, and then I'll switch back to my screen. Then I'll wait till the PZDM demo is turned on. I'll refresh the page. Okay. Now you see both the sensors are here. And right now they're measuring the same value because they are connected to the same source. But if you are connecting to multiple sources, it will show you the different values as well. So this is how it works. And this is how you can connect multiple PZDMs together. One of the good uses for it would be to measure triple phase main supply. So you will connect 3 PZDMs together and then monitor the consumption from each phase. That's a pretty good use for it. Other than that, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to in this video. I'll be creating a real project out of it in the next one. So if you want to see a good example of how PZDMs can be used in the real world, you please subscribe to my channel and wait till the next video drops. It won't be next week because I still have to do some other stuff to prepare for it. But hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'll have that video ready and uploaded. This was it for this video. But if you have any questions about anything IoT related, ESP32 related, or about this PZDM device, just write a comment and I'll try and reply to you to the best of my ability.